Lewis Hamilton's telemetry data from the Miami Grand Prix has left Ferrari stunned, not because they didn't expect to struggle, but because the numbers confirm just how deep their problems truly run. This isn't just a gap to the frontrunners, it's a structural performance collapse that paints a worrying picture of the SF25's competitiveness and Ferrari's ability to recover. The data doesn't lie. It's brutal, it's undeniable, and it's put Hamilton in a car that simply isn't worthy of a 7-time world champion. From corner exits to braking zones, from tire degradation to traction loss, the telemetry reveals a car that refuses to respond, one that fights its driver rather than working with him, and it's not just Hamilton feeling the effects. When the man who was supposed to bring glory back to Maranello is losing nearly a second per lap to a McLaren, alarm bells start ringing. Before we break down exactly where the time was lost, what the telemetry shows about Ferrari's flawed concept, and why this could change the trajectory of Hamilton's entire 2025 season, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around until the very end. This isn't just about Miami, it's about Ferrari's credibility, Hamilton's legacy, and whether this dream partnership can survive the brutal reality of Formula One. Let's start with the timing. Lewis Hamilton's Miami GP wasn't just underwhelming, it exposed the SF25's most painful truth. According to the telemetry, Ferrari's car is fundamentally flawed in areas where modern F1 races are won and lost. In qualifying, Hamilton failed to reach Q3 and ended up P12, trailing both Williams cars. Lap time comparison revealed a 0.550-second gap to Verstappen, with nearly half of that, 0.422 seconds, lost in Sector 1 alone. The speed graph comparison between Hamilton and Verstappen paints a damning picture. Through the fast corners in Sector 1, the SF25 loses grip, traction, and confidence. Where Verstappen is able to get on the throttle early and power through, Leclerc, and by extension Hamilton, are lifting, correcting, and waiting for the rear end to stabilize. That loss of momentum cascades through the lap, and Ferrari never recovers the deficit. Sector 2 is even worse. The telemetry shows the SF25 struggling from turn 11 to turn 16, with chronic oversteer and poor traction out of the slow-speed corners. This not only costs them time per lap, but also overheats the rear tires, pushing the car out of its already narrow operating window. Engineers confirmed it. The SF25 has a razor-thin sweet spot. Miss it by a few millimeters in ride height or aero balance, and the car becomes unstable and unpredictable, something Hamilton felt in every braking zone and corner exit. Now here's where things get truly shocking. During the race, both Ferrari drivers had the potential to finish ahead of Antonelli. The data confirms it. Between laps 39 and 53, Leclerc on hard tires averaged 1 minute 31.008 per lap. Hamilton, on the theoretically faster mediums, averaged 1 minute 31.1311, still 0.123 seconds behind his teammate. But it's important to note, this came after Hamilton had already spent laps stuck in dirty air, cooking his tires and losing rhythm. Race pace scatterplots show a brief period where both Ferrari drivers were actually quicker than Antonelli. Yet because Ferrari delayed the team order to swap positions until lap 39, Hamilton never had a realistic window to attack. Once the swap came, it was already too late. Antonelli was nearly 5 seconds ahead. Worse still, the average pace charts show that even Williams and Alpine had more stable stints than Ferrari. Hamilton's lap times fluctuated heavily during his fight with Ocon, and later, while being caught by Sainz. What stuns Ferrari's engineers is how much performance was left on the table. The data proves it. Both drivers ran similar lap times once Hamilton passed, but the initial hesitation from the pit wall, the lack of urgency, and the absence of a proactive swap, all of it squandered any advantage the medium tire had. Then came the second swap, this time favoring Leclerc, but again, it was too late to affect the race outcome. Perhaps the most brutal revelation from the telemetry is how far Ferrari is from the top teams in actual race trim. McLaren's Piastri averaged 1 minute 31.11 seconds per lap, almost a full second faster than Hamilton. Verstappen was even further ahead. Russell and Norris were consistently running in the low 131s. Hamilton, on the other hand, was in the 132.13 range. The SF25 isn't just underperforming, it's the fifth fastest car on the grid, and the numbers prove it. But here's where things get even worse for Ferrari. The car doesn't just lack pace, it punishes poor strategy. Due to the SF25's instability, tire degradation becomes extreme when trapped in dirty air. That means Ferrari can't afford to hesitate. Every delay in team orders, every moment of indecision, directly damages tire life and lap time, especially on a narrow street circuit like Miami. The European leg of the season is approaching fast. Imola, Barcelona, Silverstone. Circuits that will expose every strength and every flaw. If Ferrari can't fix the operational side quickly, even a car upgrade might not be enough to turn the tide. Because at this level, it's not just about who builds the fastest machine, it's about who uses it best when it matters most. Let us know in the comments, what do you think this was? A strategy failure? A car setup disaster? Or is it a sign of something deeper going wrong inside Maranello? Like this video if you believe Ferrari needs to make drastic changes, both on and off the track, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Because if this Miami data is anything to go by, Lewis Hamilton may have just exposed Ferrari's biggest weakness yet, and the world will be watching how they respond.